Hey there, here today in my driveway with my 2013 Volvo S60 T6 R design. Past few days here we've had a lot of haze and smoke from the Canadian wildfires. So I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and replace my cabin air filter for my car. So that's what I'm going to try to do today and walk through. All right, so you've got to open up your passenger door, and where this thing is, it's actually going to be down underneath your glove box, so you're going to kind of have to get down in there. As far as tools go, I believe the only thing that you're going to need is a T25 Starhead torque screwdriver. There's just a couple screws to take out, and then the rest of it can all be done without any tools at all. You're probably also going to want a flashlight because it's going to be kind of dark down there. All right, so I'm going to take out my floor mat. I'm going to have to peel the carpet back a little bit, so I need that out of the way. So I'm just going to go like this and just get that loose. And what I'm going to do, it's about impossible to see anything. I've got my seat all the way back here. I'm actually just going to kind of lay in this seat, and then hopefully I can have a little bit better vision onto what's going on down there. All right, so there's no really easy way to do this. So this is the best way I found out how. I'm basically laying on my back in the passenger seat. But from here, I've got a pretty good view of what I need to get to. My two screws I have to take out are right here. Those are those T25s. So I'm going to take those out right now to take this little panel off. So that should just fall out. There will be a wire harness here for your floor light. If you can't move this far enough out of the way, you may need to undo that. I'm going to try to do it just leaving that connected. All right, so I'm going to pull the carpet back down, and then we can finally kind of see where the filter is. It's actually going to be behind this little door here. There's a few clips that hold that in, or a few tabs rather that hold that in. But to actually get at that, we're going to have to take off this fuse block, which is right here. So if you're ever looking for another fuse block in this car, that's where it might be. Get at the fuses, you just pull that right off of there. But to get this out, and I can show you better once I get it out of there, but on the left-hand side of it, you will reach up and there'll be kind of a button to push down on. And again, I'll show you once I get it out. So once you find that release button, push down on it, the whole thing should just come. Initially, once you get it out, you're going to want to take off this kind of bluish, turquoise, whatever, wire harness. You just got to push it on this tab. And there we go, so that just kind of hangs here now. And then that button that I pushed to take this whole thing out, again, it kind of goes up, it just folds up like that. So on your left side, it'll be this, this little thing here. You can probably feel these little indents in the plastic. You just need to push down on those, and then you should feel it release. So it's going to be on your left side, kind of all the way back there, when it's still installed. So now I've got to get this door open. So you can actually pull these back tabs, just these fingers, and that whole thing's going to come off. And then at that point, I'll be able to at least see our cabin air filter. And then I'm just going to reach in there and pull it out. There's all kinds of crap in there. All right, so that's the old one there. It is quite a big filter, unfortunately, to try to jam in there. And it seems like this is kind of always a pain point when it comes to car maintenance. Usually these filters are jammed up under the dash somewhere, and it's never easy getting them in. Really, I mean, look how long this one is. It's over a foot long. And there's definitely not a foot of space to the right here, so I'm actually gonna have to bend it to get it in there, which is not great, but that's what we're gonna have to work with to replace it. All right, so here's my new cabin air filter, STP brand CA-F1840C. You can always look up other brands, cross-reference that online and whatnot, but this one should fit. All right, so I've got it out of the box now, and then you just want to check on the sides of it. It'll tell you which direction you want the airflow to go, and of course you want the airflow to go from the outside of the car into the cabin, so that's the direction you want the arrow pointing inwards. So it's actually kind of hard to see on this one, but there is a little error there next to the words airflow. So I'm going to put this side towards the inside of the car. All right, so lots of stuff in the way, but as carefully as possible here, I'm going to try to maneuver this in there. And again, I hate having to bend this, but it's kind of what you have to do to actually make it work. So when I kind of curve it over like this, and then I can kind of reach my hand up to the top of it too, make sure it's in all the way. And then once I have the first end in, I can kind of just gently work it a little bit at a time. Until it eventually goes all the way in there. I think I'll just give it a good shove here just to make sure it's going all the way to the other end, and then I'll kind of pull back. Just pull back on this end. Just to make sure that it's completely covering everything there. All right, so it's back in there again, so I'm going to take my little door, put that back on here. There'll be little tabs that stick out here, so just make sure your hinges, if you will, go over those, and then you can kind of just push on the other end, and those should snap over. The lip on the other side here. All right, so now we've got to put back our fuse box. What you're going to want to do, there are these two kind of feet at the bottom of the thing. Those are actually going to go in these metal holes. You can see in this white piece back here. Try to point it out with the screwdriver. So if you look back here, those feet, they're going to sit right in these holes on this metal plate here. So I'm going to set those in there first and then kind of tip it up, and then it should snap into place. And I will note that I'm not going to put this wire harness back in first. I'm going to save that till after, because it's on the outside and it'll reach once this fuse box is in place. All right, so to get this thing up in here, what you're going to want to do first is get the top, put it vertical like this. Then you'll want to get your feet at the bottom in the right spot. And then just kind of tip it up into place, and it will lock in, which it just did here for me. All right, and then we'll just grab that wire harness. And I'll snap that back into place. So at this point, we're thankfully done from behind the carpet. So I'm gonna get that tuck back in there. And then now all I've got to do is put back on this bottom plastic plate here. There's a little tab at the back that should set in somewhere, and then you just want to line up your holes through there. There'll be some holes for the screws in the dash. So that should be easy. Should only fit one way in there. And I'll just put those screws back in quick.